I just wanted to see what would happen if I actually did that. Apologies if I jump scared some of y'all. But, yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here to bring you yet another reaction to My Hero Academia. I'm sorry, I was looking at the playback and I just popped in the front of the screen. I'm sorry if I did that. But let's go ahead and get started on this chapter. And the last time we read in My Hero Academia, also, my mic is working. My mic is working on the first instance, so that way I don't need to worry about, going through this chapter again. I'm making it a habit of not hitting mute on my OBS, but rather my Stream Deck, because my Stream Deck tells me everything I need to know. So, in the last chapter of My Hero Academia, it ended with All For One saying that it was time to get his body back. And saying that, why do the heroes think that tomorrow is going to come for them? Why do the citizens think that tomorrow is going to come for them? I'm not even going to give them a chance to rest. And then he says, it's time to get my body back, my Nomu. And here we are. At the start of this chapter, the very first page we see is Tartarus. Just Tartarus. And we see it here. And it's a whole, and the chapter, oh my goodness. The whole chapter is about Tartarus. Chapter 297. We're getting closer and closer to 300 chapters for My Hero Academia, so applause to you, Horikoshi. But here we have chapters 297. Tartarus. Counter Quirk Maximum Security Special Prism, aka Tartarus. And we have a full description of it right here on this very first cover page. A detention facility constructed in the open waters about 5 kilometers from the mainland. Though nominally a prison, the facility effectively serves as a dumping ground for individuals who threaten or have threatened public safety and security to a drastic extent. Regardless of sentencing status, these individuals are incarcerated and heavily monitored in Tartarus. As such, people with a wide range of quirks are locked within its walls and divided up among 6 cell blocks, depending on the danger their quirks represent and the severity of their cases. The more dangerous the individual, the deeper they are kept within the prison. Tartarus is the dark side of quirk society, and it is said that anyone imprisoned here will never again emerge alive. So, Tartarus, in My Hero Academia, is basically Azkaban. For you Harry Potter fans out there. So here we are, 8:34 p.m. Mainland Gate, aka the Bronze Gate. Gygas here. Gygas! Briaderios! Give us a status report! And we got one hero, I assume. And he's standing there with a bunch of mechs. The same type of mechs that we saw during the training exercises, except they're actually using live rounds. Trigger code red security threat. Hold on, I gotta learn not to lean so close to the screen because you guys won't see me. You'll just see my head leaning out of frame. I'm sorry for that. I'm making it a habit. I'm working on it. But we have Gygas with a whole army of mechs here, and they're all opening fire on someone. Briadios is down. They killed my brother. We need a code red now. All For One is there, and he's there to take his body back, and he's already killed a hero. How uninspiring. And it's just chaos in Tartarus right now. Tartarus, B10, deepest stratum. I hear we're welcoming the big oaf to his new home tomorrow morning. Yeah, Gigantomachia. He's old Mushface's goon, right? What, they couldn't kill that thing?
Nope, guns are useless against a giant like him, and since he's human, they wouldn't just blow him to bits with a missile. Phew, human, hardly. More like a disaster on legs, or a wild beast, just like the rest of the animals we got locked up here. Cut it out. You know we've been. You cut it out. You know we're being recorded. The Hearts and Mind party may be dissolved, but its factions won't let this golden chance pass them by. And we've got our hands full with accusations of human rights violations. You don't know where something will be leaked from. You know I'm right, though.
And it shows numerous people imprisoned. Just people in straitjackets, people chained to chairs and they can't move. Some people have, regular accommodations and sitting peacefully. Kurogiri's there as well. They might walk and talk like people, but these disgusting beings only managed to mingle with the society as long as they did because quirks have warped our standards for humanity. So, that looks like Stain. That's Kurogiri. And I see pipes and tubes here, so that's obviously just All for One right here. So we have Stain, we have Kurogiri, we have All for One. Maybe All for One does actually break out Stain. I don't know. Code red security threat! Intruders detected! Code red security threat!
Now sealing off every floor. All staff be on high alert.
The gate! And after everything that's happened, what terrible timing! Wait, unless they came here after escaping? And who is it? Numerous Nomu. And the bridge that leads to the mainland is retracting into the ground. Like retracting into the sea. Bridge is being lowered. Kata's deploying. And it's numerous flying mechs. As we see the Nomu come out of the ocean. And, start to destroy these cultist mechs. And then there's All for One. And there's multiple explosions in the air. And All for One is on the back of another Nomu that's flying. But it looks like Shigaraki is starting to wake up a little.
I said, that's my body, master.
And he's struggling to wrest control of his body from All for One.
Awake now, are you? No, I'm prescribing a good long rest. The hyper-regeneration isn't working very well. I need you to be healthy. But you're the one who said to give my body a break. Yes, after I do what I must. It's my body. Give it back. No, but wasn't it you who desired my power? You spat upon the world that didn't do so much as extend a helping hand, and you desired the strength to make good on your hatred. This is the result of your powerful will. You brought this all about, and isn't that what really matters? I won't be your stinking pawn. Pawn? You have it all wrong, Tomura. You're so very near and dear to me. After all, you're the next me.
And it shows like swirling hands around Shigaraki as they enveloped him. Like, metaphorically speaking. But it's like even though All for One is saying you're the next me, I feel it's like you're the next body I'm going to take. But it remains to be seen to what extent that is. Moving to the next one. The tower guard just decayed into nothing! It's Shigaraki! And the Nomu! Had to burp there, sorry. And then Shigaraki is still... It's Shigaraki's body, but All for One is in control of it. He's using his quirk, but his body is still suffering the effects of using quirks in general because it's just, bleeding and exploding in blood.
I've pinpointed my real body's location with search, but it's in the deepest level, about 500 meters below sea level. Even if I decayed the structure while leaving my body untouched, the crushing water pressure would kill me. Furthermore, this incomplete body is coming apart. I require other villains.
You! Someone was wondering, what if he lets out Stain? What if he lets out other villains to sow more chaos?
Tartarus. How obnoxious. Bringing Machia along would have barely helped. Barely helped. Not when they have the resources to respond so decisively. And even if this new body had been perfected, invading from outside the prison would still be a tall order. Monitoring system down. We've been hit by some sort of an EMP attack. System back up in 3 seconds. Wait, but how? The inmates should have no way of knowing the system's down. And we see one prisoner's cell just erupting in electricity. Even I would have a tough time struggling against this particular god. No, you can't get out at all. And this is a flashback to when All For One and All Might were speaking after, their final fight with each other. You were most certainly right, All Might. That is, unless my operation both inside and out was coordinated and in sync, as if through a shared awareness, and multiple doors. This is a Tartarus is having, this is a massive prison break. Hey, Karma, what's going on? Tartarus is having a massive prison break right now. All the cell doors are opening. System's not coming back up. The cell blocks are unlocking from the inside. Suppression guards move in. Subjugate inmates in all cell blocks. Regulations state that any inmate who steps through the door must be... And then there's a massive explosion that happens behind this guard who's speaking, and a big form just walks through. Who is this? Fire! Fire! Oh! 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 It's muscular! The one person that has a very high chance, of being able to make it out with very few injuries, and it's muscular. Like those pea shooters could kill me. Now where's the exit out of this place? I'm bound for paradise.
And he got shot multiple times, but with his quirk, the bullets barely passed through his overlapping muscles. Muscular is free, y'all. And then multiple guards get skewered by that one villain back when the UA students were training with the Wild Wild Pussycats, and the one quirk user that got one-shotted by Dark Shadow, who uses his teeth as a quirk, and they're all spears. Yeah, he's free too.
Darn it, just when? Flesh.
And then we got another quirk user. I can't recognize this person.
The system isn't responding to quirks. What's the world coming to?
And then she looks at this door. And she opens it. And this dude just comes running out. Boss! Wait a second. We ain't going anywhere without the bridge. Give me a break. I'm dying to set foot in the world of the free and living.
If it's freedom you desire, then submit to me, my brethren, and bear witness by my side. Shigaraki? The impending Void Era will give rise to a more perfect Demon Lord. This will be the story of how I become the greatest Demon Lord of all.
Bruh. All for One is free. All for One is free. When All For One said he's not gonna give him that much rest, who is that woman? I don't know. I don't recognize her. She has different colored hair, but I don't recognize who she is. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. No, that quirk user was a guy when he had the mist and the fog that knocks people out. I don't know who that woman is. I don't recognize her. All For One is free, everyone. And the thing is, new character, Pedro? Okay, but oh my goodness. This is how you set up an endgame villain. Shigaraki was not the endgame villain. All For One, even after losing to All Might. And it says here, next chapter hits next week. We're not going on break from this chapter. All For One is still the big bad of My Hero Academia, even after the man that said boss was Overhaul. Oh snap! It is Chisaki! I was wondering, wow, who's the person that I know of who had his whole arm taken? I didn't recognize him because, you know, I'm so used to seeing him with his mask on, and I didn't really recognize him. And some months have passed, and he's gotten like a little stubble underneath his chin. So that's Chisaki! And he's out! But so that's Chisaki. Not like he can do anything. Yeah, he had one arm compressed and another one completely rotted. So he can't really use his quirk. Not unless All For One comes up with some idea. Then Overhaul is, I mean, let's just talk about this. Can we just talk about how All For One single-handedly orchestrated the prison break of Japan's biggest prison for quirk users? According to the archives, his quirk evolved to his feet. Well, then Chisaki's gonna be useful still. Even though he can't use his hands, if he can use his feet and has as much control as he does his hands, he's still a force to be reckoned with. But can we just talk about how All For One, just in that same night, he said he was not going to give anyone any time to rest. He, using the body of Shigaraki, who is struggling to get his body back. He still orchestrates the prison break of Tartarus. And it stands to reason, Muscular is out. We see Kurogiri, but it doesn't see them walking out of their cells. It doesn't see Stain walking out of his cell. But All For One is outside and has his whole life support and everything with him. And he's carrying a guard who I want to believe is dead, because All For One has never been one to just take prisoners. He's just standing there saying that how this will be the story of how he became the greatest demon lord of all. This is paralleling Midoriya saying how this is the story of how I became the world's greatest superhero. And now we got All For One breaking out people, Muscular, Chisaki, and numerous other people from Tartarus. Like, literally, Tartarus is up in flames right now. The second to last page, it shows Tartarus just up in smoke. And All For One in the next one saying how this will be the story of how I become the greatest demon lord of all. All For One just did not come there to play games. He went in, did what he had to do, and has broken his original body out. Oh my goodness. We just came back from a ginormous battle between Shigaraki, I was about to say Shigaraki, but Shigaraki and Makia and so many other villains, and seeing the destruction that they cause in all the cities and all that, and all the turmoil and all the death and destruction. And literally, the following night after Shigaraki stops fighting and they get away with all the Nomu, along with Toya, and Spinner, they all get away in that same night. All for One orchestrates pretty much the entire liberation of Tartarus itself. The only place where they're keeping quirk users, and All for One has just broken everyone out, and he's rallying all of them to his cause. This is a relevant story from the past, from the All for One, and the brother talked about a comic book where they're reading where the villain was the Demon Lord. Where's Stain? The heroes do not get a single break. That's crazy. All for One said he wasn't getting anyone a break. So literally, All for One is making what he and his brother saw in a comic book when they were kids a reality. All for One is still the big bad of My Hero. Give me a sec, y'all. Let me get my food. Yep, Kohei needs to calm down. This probably means a time skip is coming. Look, I don't know what's going through Hitokoshi's mind when it comes to this story, but I got napkins. Thank you. I'll take care of that. But Hitokoshi has shown that don't expect this to be like a happy-go-lucky. Sorry, I kind of dropped my container of onion rings a little bit over my desk here, and it kind of spilled some crumbs everywhere. It's distracting me. But the fact that we went from a battle that has claimed the lives of so many heroes, including Midnight, and has put multiple heroes in pretty much life-threatening conditions. Gran Torino's in a very life-threatening state right now. Midoriya is hurting. And Endeavor is hurting. So many people are hurting. No hero has come out of this unscathed. But now, all that is happening. You would think this would be the time where people try to settle and rest and give at least a full day breather. All for One says, you know what? I heard you like big catastrophes. Yo, dog, I heard you like catastrophes. And just orchestrates the entire prison break. And I would like to say, pretty much the destruction of Tartarus, because the whole place is just up in flames right now. And he, in the same following night, he just orchestrates the prison break, gets his body back, breaks out Muscular, frees Chisaki. Who knows what's going on with Stain and Kurogiri, though it stands to reason that they might as well be free as well, even though we don't actually see them walking out of their cells. All for One has just pretty much said, you know what? That sounds nice, you resting. But how about this? Like, here's the thing. I saw Wonder Woman I saw Wonder Woman in 1984, and I feel like this. Your life was good, but it can be worse. But that's pretty much what All for One just did. He's all like, your life was good, but it can be worse. And he just literally made things go from bad to worse. The place where so many villains that we've seen over the course of this story be imprisoned in Tartarus, he broke them all out. What? This is... Okay, so the chapter of One Piece I read today was a 10 out of 10. This chapter is 10 out of 10. The biggest villain in My Hero history is now free! Yo, he's free! How does one respond to this? I don't even know what to say. And he's saying the impending Void Era will give rise to a more perfect Demon Lord. Didn't even read One Piece yet. It's a very good chapter. Let me tell you. But I'm not going to spoil it for you here, but read it when you get the chance. But this right here, the biggest villain of My Hero Academia is free. And All Might is no longer around to stop him. And Midoriya is in no condition to fight anyone. There is literally no one right now who can contend with this. Hawks is down. Endeavor is down. Midoriya is down. There's no one. I don't think even Lemillion, as strong as he may be, as much pride and joy as we give you My Hero's favorite Vault Boy, there's no one to contend with this situation right now. There's no one with the strength capable to do it. Where do we go from here? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. There's a prison break. I don't even know where the story's going to go now. We're getting a chapter next week. Where do we go from here? We need All Might back? Look, that's the only person who's capable of fighting All for One, and he's already passed on his quirk to Midoriya. I don't even know what to think right now. Cause I didn't even piece together what would happen. Fully piece together what would happen if All for One was to fully break out and get free. And what would happen? So much has happened in between his imprisonment up until now. Heroes have died. Numerous people have died. Powerful people are in critical condition. Shigaraki versus All for One, master versus student. Well, there's that situation still going on. But I want to say, like, who knows how long that's, I don't even know. Because All for One still has access to quirks. Because it's showing him levitating his, I want to say his mini oxygen space life support thing he's got going on. He still has that with him. So it stands to reason that the All for One we see standing here, he doesn't have his original quirk in his body. It's just a duplicate, but even that duplicate was capable of contending with All for One himself. So I don't even know where we go from here. This is scary, where you don't even know what's gonna happen to anyone now that the villains, some of the biggest, most dangerous villains we've seen, are all free. And he's asking people to follow him. That's scary. I thought the last one was scary when All for One says, I'm not going to give them any chance to rest. It's time to break out my body. And here he is, and he just breaks out his body in that same night. And now he's rallying people behind his cause, just like he did when he was building himself up as Japan's biggest villain before the whole altercations between the One for All users. This is how his stance as a villain started, rallying people behind him for his cause. This is how it started, and now he's doing it all again. Where do we go from here? My goodness, these chapters in January, y'all need to stop. Oda needs to stop, and so does Kohei. Wow, I don't even know what more I can say to this. He acknowledges that Shigaraki's body is not perfected, so he's not going to be able to do anything he's big and bad to do with Shigaraki's body, due to Shigaraki's body still not being stable enough to handle using quirks. Because him just using his decay quirk causes his arm to explode and cracks and blood, lots of blood. So his body isn't complete yet. But I don't know where we go. I don't know where we go from here. This is scary that I have no idea what's about to happen. I can't even give any predictions about what's about to happen. Because that's just how ridiculous this chapter is. There's not much more I can say. How much longer have I gone on for? I want to go ahead and start to eat my food real quick. This is a 10 out of 10 chapter. But this is a horrifying chapter. This is what happens when My Hero Academia Shippuden or My Hero Academia College Years. I don't even know what else to say to this. This isn't going to be as long as my One Piece stream was, because that was about an hour and some minutes long. But I can't even say anything else. Oh, thank you. Naruto Shippuden is trash. The war was, so I don't want that. Shippuden is just an example. We're not saying we want My Hero Academia to be exactly like Shippuden because there's far too much filler in between. But overall, I don't even know what to say to this. A new era is about to happen, and All for One is back in the spotlight as the big bad again. I don't know what else to say, but this was an awesome chapter. A lot of people are going to be talking about this for a minute, because now that All for One is back, not at full strength, mind you, but he's back nonetheless. No one is prepared. Absolutely no one is prepared for this. I mean, more in the sense of time skip. Yeah, I understand that. I knew that's what you meant. I understand, but I don't even know what to say. The villain, the heroes, I was about to say villains and Viros, but the heroes themselves, they literally cannot catch a break. Like I said, I've said this so many times during these chapters when it happens. Whenever the heroes seem like something is going well for them, something always happens. But for this time, for the villains, they have a ginormous tip in the scales right now. Especially with All for One back in the spotlight. Technically, the heroes should not be able to win. Technically, you got All for One and his original body that has a duplicate of all the quirks he can use. Then you have Shigaraki's body with the consciousness of All for One again in his body and his original quirk in his body. He can use all of that. You essentially have two All for Ones in the field right now. All Might could barely deal with one. But I don't know where we go. I'm going to stop here before I continue monologuing here because I'm trying to wrap my mind around this whole thing, okay? I'm trying to wrap my mind about, like, who's going to stop him? There's no time for the heroes to rest up and prepare because this is the last thing they would technically be thinking about. I can't even. I don't even know what to say to any of this. All I know is just brace yourself because there's literally no telling what's about to happen in these next couple of chapters. That's all I got. I can't even make a good theory about what could technically happen in the next chapter because I don't know. With All for One back in the spotlight, it can go anywhere. Kohei is just doing the thing, okay? Okay, he just is, okay? Just subverting expectations, filling our dreams to the brim with fright. This is Halloween. This is basically Halloween, okay? But I'ma stop. The only way to win is by Shigaraki switching sides. That's the only thing. But how we go about that remains to be seen. So maybe we'll see that in the future. But that's all I got. Let me go ahead and finish this so I can eat my food and then do my reaction to the latest episode of One Piece. So thank you, everyone, for coming out to see this reaction to the latest My Hero Academia chapter. Boy, are things are taking a turn that I did not expect. And I can't even say anything else to it. But thank you, everyone, for coming out to see my reaction to My Hero Academia today. I thank you all for coming out and just watching what I do. I love doing this. I will always love doing this, and I will always do my very best to give you the most genuine reactions and most genuine videos and streams I can on this channel. You guys help make this channel an inviting place for others, and after hitting, 1,700 subscribers recently, it just fills me with joy that I'm reaching more and more people, and my dreams of being able to do this full time is ever approaching. So I thank you all for all the support that you show this channel by any means. It really does mean the world to me. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples.